Okay, I think we are ready to get into this vlog that I've been super excited to finally be doing. Let me scoot you guys in a little bit. I feel like you guys are a little too far. So let's see. So, hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. If you are new here, my name is Lexi and I go by Fit with Lexi on Instagram, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that down below. I do post quite often. I like to post about my fitness journey, competing, workouts, diets, supplements, everything, you name it. I pretty much post it all. So this vlog, I'm gonna be talking about how I became Fit with Lexi. So pretty much taking it back to 2019 when I just had my daughter. And I do have my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. A lot of people ask me certain things and I don't want to forget anything pretty much from where I started to where I am now. I want to let you guys in on all my secrets, diets, supplements, everything that's worked for me. But again, guys, huge disclaimer. What works for me might not work for everybody else. Please give me and my coach the respect that we give everybody. If you are a trainer, if you are a future competitor, if you are a bodybuilder, if you just, work out for fun, if you guys could just please give us that respect, because every trainer trains differently, every coach coaches differently, from cardio, workouts, diets, supplements. So I just want you guys to understand that everything that I did and I follow might work for you, might not, but this just gives you a little insight of what I do, take and diet on the daily. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
If you think you better, then battle me. If you really with it, then battle me. If you really with it, then battle me.
Okay guys, so let's take it back to 2019, and when I say 2019, it was about June, I believe, when all of this began. I had my daughter October of 2018, and that's when I literally lost myself. And if you are a mom, if you're currently pregnant, or you literally just had your baby, trust me, I've been through it all and I know how it feels. But after I had my daughter, give or take about 6-7 months, I just wasn't feeling myself at all. I couldn't take selfies because I just didn't find the right angles, or I just wasn't feeling myself. I just didn't like the way I looked. And most importantly, guys, I did not like seeing myself naked. And I think as a mom, or as a woman in general, if you don't like seeing yourself naked, that's just gonna be a big red flag when it comes to either dating, if you're married, if just pretty much everything, wearing a bikini, going to the gym, pretty much taking selfies. And it's hard to do all of that and not feel yourself, not be happy if you're just not content with the way you look. So this thing's going down. So when I just had my daughter, I was giving myself that time to, heal. And everybody tells you it's okay, Alexis, or they just tell you it's fine. Like, give yourself time to bounce back. You just had a baby. And I was patient. I tried dieting. I tried eating good. I would do cardio. I tried to go and gym on my own, and nothing was working. This is pretty embarrassing, but like I said, I'm very raw. And I like being truthful, because if anybody else is going through this, I want you guys to understand that you're not alone. And I'm through the exact same thing. And if I went through it and I made it this far in my fitness journey, I know you guys could too. So after I had my daughter, well, before I went into labor, I was weighing almost about 190. And let me remind you guys, I am 5'1", so that is a lot of weight. And I know it's normal when you get pregnant, you do tend to gain 30 pounds from your current weight, but still that was pretty heavy for me. And that's how much I weighed when I went into labor. And then after I had my daughter, still stay swollen. So I think I ended up, because I breastfed, so I did drop down to 150, and I was like, okay, cool, like, you know, I went back to my previous weight, like I'm feeling good. And I guess after I stopped breastfeeding, that's when the weight just went back up, and I ended up staying at like 172 to 175. My pant size was a size 9, almost a 10. And I just, nothing fit me, nothing I wore I felt good in. I just couldn't feel myself. Like, I hated my husband seeing me naked. I would tell him, get out of the room. Like, I just didn't want him to see me because I just didn't love my body. And that's when I told my husband, you know what, like, I need to hire a trainer. Like, I can't be like this forever. It's gonna end up hurting our marriage. It's gonna just show my daughter, like, I need to show her that you need to love yourself through every process that you go through and just finding yourself. So at this time, I was gymming at Anytime Fitness, and I love that gym. Amazing environment. I would see other girls that, you know, looked really, really fit, and I was like, man, I want to look like that. Like, I want to do that one day. Like, I want to feel good and wear little tiny sports bras and not have to worry about what others thought or how I looked in the mirror. So there was this girl that gym there, and she's literally, her weight loss journey is amazing. I reached out to her and asked her, hey, who's your coach? And she had told me that Eddie had helped her for a while. So I was like, okay, like, let me go ahead and look him up. So I found him on Instagram, and I reached out to him like right there and then. And I asked him like what were his plans. And guys, before I even found Eddie, I did look around El Paso, like in my area, for coaches, because I wanted a coach that was here locally so he could see me in person. It's a little hard when you're a client over like an online client, because pictures are totally different than when someone in person. So I wanted somebody I could see in person, face to face, so they could see like, okay, you have this, you need a tweak here or there. So I reached out to Eddie, and he responded immediately. So I had told him like what my goals were, which was weight loss at that time. And he was like, okay, he's like, I specialize in weight loss. Prices at that time were way cheaper than how they are now. But I think it was about $80 for every month. And that included bi-weekly check-ins, that included supplements, diet, workouts, and just a 24/7 access to Eddie. So I thought that was great. I was like, okay, cool, because I'd reached out to other coaches, and guys, it was insane. They wanted to charge me about $500 a month just to train. That didn't include like my supplement list. It didn't include my check-ins. That was just like, oh, here are your workouts, and that's it. And after having a baby, you guys know, like, life changes. Life hits you hard. So I was like, I don't have that in my budget to be spending $500 for a coach. So I was like, there has to be someone out there for me. So that's when Eddie crossed my path. And yeah, he had sent me a questionnaire, which is what I love about Eddie, is that like he's there 100%, available 24/7, even if he's working, if he's not, if he's just at home chilling, like he's there and he's available. So he had sent me a questionnaire. It pretty much, it contained my current weight, if I had any surgeries, what were my goals, what areas did I want to target, how much I eat a day, what were my eating habits, did I even work out, if I did, what did I do, what was my cardio at that time, how many months was I postpartum, if I took any supplements, just pretty much everything. He asked everything that he needed to know before actually saying, okay, like, I could do this, I could coach you. So when I told him that, then he was like, okay, if you're ready to start, then just go ahead and pay me. I'll send you everything by tonight. So I didn't hesitate. I was like, I was ready. So I paid him right there and then. And that night, he sent me everything I needed, from diet, supplement, cardio, workouts, just everything, which is what I loved, because he didn't leave me hanging. He wasn't like, okay, I'll get back to you in a day or two. Like, it was right there and then. So that's how I pretty much found him, through any time. And he wasn't even a trainer there or anything. He would actually go work out there on his own. I'm gonna insert a picture here of my first weigh-ins, and this was 7 months postpartum, and this is how I looked. I was here in this picture, I was weighing about 172, 173. Waist size was maybe like 32. So I was just disproportionate everywhere. Carried my body fat literally everywhere, but mostly on my upper body, which you guys know I always talk about it on my Instagram, or I just talk about it on all my videos. Is that was just the hardest part to target during my prep. So I always was insecure about my arms. I was like, oh my God, like these freaking bat wings, like I needed help. So that's why I had to find a coach. So after that, we had done a diet, a basic diet, where he supplies you with your, how much carbs, ounces of protein, and your veggies. So at this time, we didn't know how my body would respond, because you're learning, and your coach is also learning your body. So that's why I always say, be patient. Don't judge like a coach the first month or the second or the third, because they're also learning your body just as you're learning yours. He started telling me like, have you ever tried carb cycling? And I was like, no, like I would just stick to like a diet and that's it. So he's like, let's try carb cycling. So pretty much it's when you're like at a high, and then every day you just go to a low where it's completely no carbs, and then you start again. Guys, carb cycling is it. That changed my body forever. That's how we found out, okay, carb cycling is for you. But remember guys, if it's for me, it might not be for everybody else, but it absolutely works for me. It gives my body a rest from just a straight diet and hitting like a plateau of like, okay, I'm tapping out. It's the same thing all the time. So carb cycling is a go for me. And if you guys are interested more in about how to carb cycle, you guys go ahead and message me, or you can message my coach. It's honestly a little hard at first, because you have to figure out the days and you have to figure out the meals and just make sure you're following it. But once you get the hang of it, it is so easy. Like today is my no carb day, which the no carb days are hard, because I feel like those are the days where like you want to have carbs. So let's talk about foods that I had to avoid and foods that I was able to consume. So like I said, everybody coaches differently. I know there's coaches out there who do like basic dieting, carb cycling, and then I know there's macros out there. Honestly, I couldn't do macros. I've tried, and it's just too much work for me. I just need something basic and simple and straight to the point. So I have a list of foods that Eddie told me like to avoid, and foods that I was able to consume. So let me get that list for you guys. So pretty much, as you guys know, the main thing that we need to avoid is fried food. And it's crazy, but like, let's start off by saying 80% is diet and 20% is working out. So if you aren't seeing results and you're gymming 6 times a week, it is obviously diet. So every time someone messages me or asks me like, hey, how can I lose weight? Diet is key, guys. I can't express this enough. I had to learn the hard way. I always thought like, oh, I could, work out like crazy and eat like shit and it's gonna work out perfectly fine. But no, diet is literally the game changer, just as much as cardio is. So foods I had to avoid were anything fried, breaded, pretty much anything that had sugar, milk, cheese, soda, beer, alcohol, no junk food, no fast food. Literally, he told me if it's sweet, it's bad. So that means like teriyaki sauce, milky dressings. Foods that I could consume were healthy proteins such as chicken, steak, fish, what else? Egg whites, protein powder, and yeah, that's it. So now healthy fats, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like sticking to plain food. It's okay, guys. We all go through it. And these are some healthy fats that you could add in your daily diet that won't affect you. So peanut butter, whole eggs, olive oil, CLA, avocado, almond butter. Those are like my go-tos if I have to put in my oatmeals. So like peanut butter or almond butter. There's so many flavors of almond butter. You just have to read the labels just to make sure like the added sugar and the alcohol sugar aren't high. They might say, oh, it's low in sugar, but then you see the alcohol sugar and it's like 17, 16 grams, and that's already a no. So that's something that in time you'll learn to read. I'm still learning to this day, but I started learning when I came back from my first show in Dallas, because I was like, oh, it says 0 sugar. Alcohol sugar is nothing. And no, that affects you too. So we have to just start learning our labels and reading everything, like nutrient wise. I know a lot of us, when we cook, we use canola oil, and the less you use of it, the better. I always use now to cook is the olive oil spray. It's so much easier and it's less messier, but it's healthy. So if you guys want to like cook healthy, like I would say use coconut oil or olive oil, like the spray. I'll go ahead and put like a picture here so you guys can see. And for example, like substitutes like I use is like stevia. So pretty much like Splenda. I use sugar-free syrups. And again, the sugar-free syrups, we have to read the labels, because sometimes they say sugar-free and then the alcohol sugar is like insane. So like for example, the sugar-free candy, I don't know if you guys seen them, like the Reese's, I forgot the name brand. Actually, I have them. Hold on. I found them. So these are the brand that I'm telling you about. It's called Russell Stover. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't eat them, because every now and then I do get a sweet tooth, and obviously during prep, like it's a totally different story. But like right now, I am in prep, but it's not as strict as it's gonna be this coming week. So I was given like a little leeway to kind of enjoy my life. But these are like the wannabe sugar-free M&Ms, and guys, it literally says 0 sugars, but sugar alcohol 17 grams. So stuff like that is like little things that you might want to like start reading and start seeing like the nutrients. The other one is you would think like you see this, right? And you're like, oh my god, 0 sugar. That's totally something I could have in my diet. But again, guys, the sugar alcohol is 12 grams, and I'm like, sometimes I even get told it is better to just eat a regular freaking Reese's than a sugar-free one, because it almost equals out to the same thing. So these are the ones I was telling you guys about. So if you're gonna start meal prepping, I would recommend you to buy a food scale. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. It could be a cheap one from Walmart. I started with the $9 one. Now I bought like a pricey one because, sorry, excuse me, I need to change it from like ounces to grams to like all of that. But Walmart does have one for like $9. And it does the exact same thing. It's just a smaller, compact one, so you could take it wherever you want with you. So that's something you also might want to invest in if you're going to start wanting to eat healthy. Just weighing your grams and your ounces, just so you know what you're consuming in a day. If we're not weighing anything, we don't keep track of what we eat. We tend to just be like, oh, I had a little, like a plate of food. We see it's not how much we think we eat. So it's just better if we weigh out our food, just so we know exactly what our body's taking in. So that's another thing. So I did want to tell you guys that. And then the good carbs that I consume on a daily is white rice, oats, cream of rice, and sweet potatoes, red potatoes. So I was starting with rice, and then I noticed, and see what I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to start noticing yourselves, like when you start kind of eating healthy, you're gonna know what works for you and what doesn't. But I would notice that rice would bloat me every time I would eat it. My stomach couldn't digest it, and I had to tell my coach, because you know it was prep, and I was like, you know what, it's not digesting right, like is there another alternative? And we immediately were like, oats. Oats for me is, I could have it all day every day. I freaking love oatmeal. and it's easier to digest. It doesn't stay in your system as long. So we started doing oats with every meal I eat, and it's just lighter on my body. I eat it within like 10 minutes, 15 minutes after, it's out. TMI. But it works for me. So it might work for you guys. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like oatmeal. I don't know why. It is super, super delish, especially if you get creative. Put a scoop of protein powder, weigh out your fruits, add that in there, and it's amazing. You guys, if you look into like our fruit, a lot of them do contain a lot of sugar. So the low ones that I'm able to eat during prep are strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, sometimes watermelon, and melon. It just depends on where we're at in prep. Let's talk about supplements. I'm gonna show you guys everything I take, and you guys might think it's insane and it's a lot, but when you're going through prep or when you're trying to just live healthier, your body needs all these vitamins, all these subs, because if we're not getting it from a certain food that we cut out, we need to get it from something else. And it just helps in general. It gives you more energy. It helps your body, your immune system, and immune system is very important because during my prep of, I believe, Dallas, I don't remember I think I did post it like on social media or on one of my vlogs, but I got sick, and it was because I stopped taking multivitamins and I gave my supplements a break because I'm very honest on here, but I was just very lazy to, I know it's funny and it's dumb, but I was very lazy to like rack up my supplement container, which I'm gonna show you guys right now. I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. It's a lot of pills to like organize, and I don't have the energy for it. Well, within that time of me not taking my vitamins, my immune system went really low and I got sick. And as it is, my immune system isn't great because I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but I am diagnosed with epilepsy. So I do get seizures under stress or when I'm very dehydrated. So if you guys know, and I talk about it all the time again, during peak week and deplete our body. So that's when I'm very, very careful coaching and monitor everything because of that reason. My body quickly gets a seizure if I stress, and I don't know why. It's just a chemical imbalance, and I am on medicine for that. So I do take medicine twice a day because of my seizures. So that's another thing that you guys probably didn't know about me. And if you went to high school with me, then you guys know because I suffered from them a lot, especially in cheer. I would get them in cheer competitions, so that was the scary part. So let me show you guys my subs. That way you guys could see what I take on the daily. And if you guys want to start taking them, or you guys are curious about why I take them, you guys go ahead and shoot me a message and I will be glad to share that info with you guys. So let me just show you guys what I take. Okay guys, so the container I use all the time, every day, I take it with me, is this one. Sorry, the ring light probably flashes it out, but I love this one. I got it off Amazon. I believe it was like $10. I'm gonna go ahead and link it in my bio because if you guys are gonna start taking supplements, this one's super, super good. I know Walmart sells like the whole tray ones, but what I like about this one is that it literally has Monday through Sunday. So you just have to fill it out for that 1 week and you're ready to go. And then the cool thing is you don't have to take the whole thing. Let's say you're going out of town for Sunday, Monday, or you're just gonna go gym and you're not gonna be home till later that night. You can literally just take it out and you're good to go. And all your vitamins and fat burners are in here. And once you're done for the day, you just put it back and that's it. So every time I work, I just take out the ones that I need and I just throw it in my gym bag and we're set. So again, Amazon, and I believe it was like $10 if I'm not mistaken, but I'm gonna link it so that way if you guys wanna go ahead and try this. Here are all my pills, vitamins. So I'm not gonna go through every single one and talk about what they do. I just wanna show you guys what I take and what my coach told me to take. Shout out to Koi Nutrition. They are amazing. and that is my go-to supplement store. So I'm gonna leave their info down below if you guys wanna go and buy your supplements from there. So I'll talk about them right now. But to start off, milk thistle. Obviously you guys know fish oil is a go. We have these. We have cranberry de manus. This one too, L-glutamine. We have our multivitamins. We have our CLA. And this is the one. The Ravenous Digestive Enzymes. Guys, I was going crazy looking for these until we had our open gym, and went for our open gym and they were like supplying you guys with samples and stuff. I had to ask her because I saw the brand and she's like, no, we have the Ravenous pills. And I'm like, girl, put them on hold for me, please. Because I've seen a lot of competitors, a lot of just, if you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, these are a must. I used to take digestive enzymes from Walmart or Vitamin Shop. They're good, but I would still bloat even with my food. I would feel heavy. I would just feel a little like gross after. And with these, especially during prep, they are a game changer. And the reason I say during prep is because I'm pretty sure you guys all hear the term Rice Krispies because like our stomach is so off, and these just help. So I take 6 of them a day. I take 2 in the morning, 2 midday, and 2 with my last meal. And honestly, the bloating is, I don't even get bloated. My appetite, I get hungry every 2 hours because I eat 6 times a day. And it just helps like my stomach, and I live by these. So if you guys want to grab some, Koi Nutrition does have them. They also have the whole brand, and they have literally everything you possibly need. And when I say everything, I mean Evogen. You guys know that's my brand, so I grab everything from them. So here, if you guys want to take a closer look. But yes, Ravenous. Okay, so those are the supplements that Coach told me to take when I started my fitness journey with him. So let's fast forward from June 2019 to November 2022. No, 2020. Because at that time I had lost a good amount of weight. I was like, you know what, like I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I'm loving the journey. And my coach was like, have you ever thought about ever competing like in the future? And I was like, oh no, like that is not me. And when I say that, guys, it's because I know a lot of people can relate. I had a lot of people tell me your body is just made the way it is. You can't change it. You're big bone. You can't lose the weight. You're made to be chubby. Your waist is never gonna shrink. Just all those negative comments. And I was like, you know what? It's not gonna happen. Like I'm just made to be me, like this chubby girl. And I was like, my coach told me, no, have you ever thought about it? Like give it a thought. Like you don't have to give me an answer now. And I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, Lexi, I think you need to try it. Like if you're scared, then you need to do it. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, let me just do like a little photo shoot, you know, just to get my feet wet. And my coach was like, well, I don't know exactly your body right now. Let's try bikini. So we did, I dropped down. I think the lowest I did was like 129, 130. And for bikini, if you guys know, you need to be like 90 to like maybe 110. And I was like, okay, for sure that's not me. So we had done that photo shoot, and I'll add pictures in here. That was in November of 2020. So then February came along of 2021, and my coach was like, so did you want to compete again? And I was like, you know what? Well, not compete again. But he was like, did you want to compete? And I was like, you know what? I think I do. I think I could handle it, and I think I'm ready to prove myself and everyone wrong. So he was like, okay. He's like, how do you think about figure? And I was, with honest truth, I was scared because I was scared to not be feminine. And I think a lot of girls can agree because they get scared to live heavy and be like, oh my God, I'm gonna turn into a man, or I'm gonna get manly. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a little scared. Like, those girls are so huge. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. If it's made for me, it's made for me. So we prepped for it, and during improvement season, we ate a lot. So I went up to about 165. And again, I was like, oh my God, took me forever to lose this. Now I have to gain it back. Like, my coach is like, just trust the process. Let me do the thinking. You just do it. And I was like, okay, fine. So that's when we had chose, at the time it was called the Europa, and that was in Dallas in June. And I was prepping for that show. My very first show, and remember it because I went in there never knowing what bodybuilding was like, never being backstage, and seeing those girls, it lights a fire in you that you're like, you know what, if it's made for me, I'm gonna keep doing it. And as soon as I came back from Dallas, that's when I placed 5th, and I was like, you know what, I'm made for this. Like, this is something that I need to do, and I think this is for me. Like, this is my career. Like, this is a job for me. So I told my coach, you know what, let's do a good improvement season. I think I'm ready to compete again. And he's like, okay, let's do it. So we improved that entire year until we returned to Dallas of this year, which is 2022. And I told myself, top 3. I need to place top 3. I don't care. I'm gonna work my ass off. I'm gonna place top 3. And I did. I placed top 3. But once you're back there and you see these women are so amazing, they inspire you that you're like, no, I gotta keep going. I need to get better. And I told my coach, I need to do 3 shows this year. And he's like, 3 shows? Are you sure? And I'm like, I have to. I could do it. Like, I want to get better and better. So I placed 3rd, and we came back, and we were 6 weeks out from Arizona. That prep was hard because 6 weeks is not much. It's nothing. So within those 6 weeks, a lot changed. My mindset changed. I believe in manifestation. The more you manifest something, the more it's gonna happen. So I had to post it in my mirror in the restroom. First place novice. I did have first place open, first place overall. I did make it to overall, but I didn't place first, and it's okay because it lit a fire in me to do this next prep, which we're on right now. I did place first. I took first in novice, and I was on cloud 9. I think I still am because I don't believe it when people see me. They're like, how do you feel, first place champ, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I still don't believe it. And I'm just ready. I lost my train of thought, you see, because I think regardless of everything that I've done from like when I started my fitness journey to me being where I am now, makes me very, very humble. Regardless of being a sponsored athlete, getting small little things like these to promote them, like promote Squeeze Me Skinny, be a part of Evogen. Those things make me, I don't know, like let's pause. Okay. So everything that I've been through from where I started to where I am now, I will always remain the same person. If anybody knew me in high school, you guys know I was not a popular person. I wasn't the hottest girl. I didn't have a big old butt. I was just Lexi, chubby Lexi, and I will never forget that. That's who made me who I am today. I went through a lot of friendships. Met a lot of people throughout my journey, and it has taught me everything I need to know for who I am right now. People come and go in your life, so I think that's a main thing when you're doing a fitness journey. You're gonna find out who your real friends are, because when you're doing something like this, your life is gonna change for the good. That means not going out and partying as much, not going out and eating as much, sticking to something that you know it's gonna be better for you and your health. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's fine, because this, like, again, this isn't made for everybody. Living a healthy lifestyle isn't for everybody, but the people who love you and support you and who are your real friends are gonna understand that and be with you throughout every step of the way. So another question I got asked is, how do I balance mom life, being a wife, and now being a bodybuilder? Before I became a bodybuilder and I was just doing it just to lose the weight, it wasn't as hard because it wasn't a lot of gym hours. The cardio sessions weren't as bad. So when people ask me, how did you do it? Honestly, I would just find that time that I had free. I would literally give up an hour of the time I want to Netflix and relax to actually go do cardio and work out. It's a lot of sacrifice that you have to do when it comes to doing a life change like this. At the time I wasn't working either, so I know a lot of people are like, well, you weren't working, so you were not as tired. I wasn't, but being a full-time mom is very tiring, and being a full-time wife. You know, my husband coming home, everything being clean, dinner being ready, my daughter getting the attention that she needed, feeding her, taking care of her. You know, it's a lot being a full-time mom and full-time wife. But I could just imagine when you're a single parent, it's a lot to juggle, especially when you have your kids all the time. The only tip that I could give is when my husband was gone for about a year, it was just me and my daughter. And I had my mother-in-law here. She helped me out a lot, which thank God for her and thank God for my mom. But the times when they needed their free time, I had to invest in getting a treadmill for my house, because I can't just get up and leave and be like, tell my daughter, oh, I'll be back, you know, behave. Like, no, I had to sacrifice, you know, leaving my house and just being here all the time. So a schedule that I had was, I knew she was asleep by like 9:30, 10, so she wouldn't be up till like maybe 8:30, 9, just depending. So what I would do is do cardio when she would go to sleep. I was in the garage, sometimes midnights, doing cardio. And then if I didn't do it that night, then I knew I had to be up by 4 or 5 in the morning and do my cardio before she would be awake. And those are the little sacrifices that I'm telling you guys. Like, let's say you're working and your friends are like, hey, let's go out and have a drink, but you haven't gotten your workout in. So would you rather go get a drink, or would you rather go get your workout in that free time that you have without your kids? I feel like that's where you would choose what you want in life. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with going out and drinking, because if you know me, I love to go out and drink. But if you want to change your life, then that's where you're gonna have to make that sacrifice of, like, if my friends are my friends, they'll understand that I can't go out and I need to give my free time to me at this chapter that I am in my life. So little things like that. Stuff that kept me motivated is honestly just seeing the changes. I feel like within the first 2 weeks, if you give it your all, you're fully dedicated, you should see a change. Like, I'm not saying a drastic change where I'm like, oh my God, I dropped down like pants sizes, but like that where you're like, oh, like, you know, my pants fit me a little loose today. My face is a little slimmer. I feel better, you know, seeing myself naked, like little things like that. Little do you know, like, we all motivate each other. It's just that social media, I don't know if it's like, it's a thing that people are like, oh, I'm not gonna tell her she motivates me because she thinks she's better. Honestly, me, I still message girls and I'm like, you are honestly my motivation to get out of bed, to get that cardio in, because I see you get it in. So I'm like, okay, could too. Like, and you don't have kids, or you have kids and you're still doing it. Like, We're here to motivate each other. So I feel like the more people you have around you that have almost the same goals will help you push. If you don't have those people around you, then I feel like it's gonna be a little harder. Like they say, you are who you're with. And I do think that's true. If you're with people who don't have the same goals as you, that's when you're gonna have a hard time. So the more you hang around or talk to people who wanna do what, or are doing what you wanna do, they'll give you those little tips and tricks that help them. So just have an open mindset to all of that. While I'm vlogging, guess what just got here? My meal preps. That's also another thing, guys. You have to meal prep. You have to be prepared for the week. Like they say, fail to prepare or prepare to fail. So I think that's how it goes. I don't know. But I got my meal preps, and you guys know Gladio's Grill, they're sponsored athletes. So I get all the yummy, delicious food from them. So let me go ahead and put that away so we can continue this video. Well, since now we are prepping for Albuquerque, I'm very excited for this one because I will be doing open figure, and then we decided to throw in wellness in there just because my legs are pretty thick. And it's crazy because that was like my glutes and my legs were like a huge weakness back then that I would never have thought that that was gonna be a thing for me. So we're gonna throw wellness in there just to have some fun, since I will be prepping for figure and only doing one class, so I might as well just add something else in there just to have some fun and make the tanning and makeup worth. Prep for Albuquerque is literally my road to nationals. I am trying to win overall because since I already won first in novice in Arizona, I can no longer compete in novice, so now it is time to take it to nationals. So that is that goal for Albuquerque prep, but that is something that I will be vlogging actually starting next week because we will now be 10 weeks out. So that is stuff that I want to share and share how I feel about that mentally, about throwing wellness in there. So I'll share with you guys all the details in that upcoming vlog. Before I end this vlog, I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for all the love and support on my last video, which is the road to first. We had so many views and we went over 100 subscribers, and I'm very freaking grateful. I think it's time for a new giveaway just because of all the love and support you guys give me. I love to give back and I like to share the stuff that I use. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.